I got the Sony 24mm G Master lens for more than a year now. Was it worth the high price? Let's find out. Hola amigos and welcome to this video. Today we talk about the 24mm f1.4 G Master lens from Sony, which I bought around 1 year ago. I can say you one thing for sure, I used this lens a lot in the past 12 months and can tell you exactly what I like and dislike on it. And of course probably the most important question for you guys, can I recommend it? When I bought this lens around 1 year ago, it cost me 1,600 bucks, and yes, that's a hella amount of cash, but I bought it anyway. 24mm was always a focal length I loved, but honestly there weren't many options for Sony E-mount back in the days. I was used to use my 24mm Sigma lens adapted from Canon EF mount on my A7 III, but this combo seemed way too big and heavy on this small camera, and the autofocus wasn't working as you know it from a native lens. Even when Sigma came out with their E-mount version of the art lenses, I was a bit disappointed. These lenses were exactly the same and didn't really fit to the Sony body. So I was happy when Sony finally came out with a 24mm f1.4 G Master lens. And yes, the G Master lens was almost twice the price of a Sigma version, but was it worth it? For me, definitely yes. But why? The lightweight and small design. I travel a lot, so I love to save weight. The lens is so small that it doesn't even look like a professional lens, which can be super useful especially when it comes to street photography. f1.4. This lens is a beast when it comes to low light. You can take photos at night without using a flash, and of course with a wide open aperture of f1.4 you get a dope bokeh even with a wide angle lens. And yeah, these 24mm f1.4 portraits are my absolute favorites. This lens is super versatile. I love to use it for portraits, but it also works perfectly for landscape, astro or street photography. .24mm is already super wide, but if you look at a picture like this, I can't see that much of distortion, and no, I didn't correct anything in post here. The autofocus is extremely fast and reliable, which is super important for me as a lifestyle photographer. I love to take photos when people are moving to get a more natural moment. With this lens, it's super easy. Like most of the G Master Prime lenses, the 24mm has also the Aperture Ring right on the lens. And yeah, it seems pretty old school, but it can be quite handy as well, especially for filmmaking. With the switch on the side of the lens, you can make the Aperture Ring declickable. Now you can change the aperture seamlessly, like a variable ND filter. The 24mm G Master lens also has the extra button on the lens itself. If you're used to it, it can be super useful, but honestly, I don't use it that much. With its small size, the lens has only a filter size of 67mm. Luckily, most of my lenses have exactly this filter size. Obviously, there's a big disadvantage on this lens, the price. The good thing about it, it's already dropped from 1,600 bucks to 1,400 bucks. That's not too bad, but yeah, it's still a lot of cash. Would I buy it again? Definitely yes. There's actually no other 24mm lens on the market right now that is comparable to the G Master lens if you're a Sony user. The Sony 24mm G Master lens is definitely my favorite lens, especially when it comes to photography, and it is worth every cent. It doesn't matter if you shoot portraits, landscapes, weddings or even cars. This is a super versatile lens, and if you haven't already, go and get your hands on it. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite lens is. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate your support, guys. Thank you guys, goodbye, and I see you next week.